Brock Purdy, apparently, according to Kyle Shanahan, would have to melt in practice to lose the QB1 job. So do you trust Brock Purdy to lead the Niners to the promised land, to be that very competitive team in the NFC? I know he's got a lot built around him, so it's guess it'd be kind of hard. He feels like maybe a Jimmy G duplicate. We've seen a smaller sample size, but maybe it was enough. Are you trusting Brock to really ride out all 17 and deliver on the expectations that everyone has for 49ers this year?
The short answer is no. And here's why. Because on my show and Stuff About Sports, and you've been on the show, and I believe you've heard me say this before, I need a 3-year sample size to see who you are.
Yeah.
Anybody,
quarterback position.
especially anybody can have a hot summer.
Right.
It's anybody. So now that there's tape out on you, let's see. And you're coming off of an injury.
Mm-hmm.
I know Jimmy Garoppolo can take the 49ers to the Super Bowl because he's done it.
Right.
And
He
almost did it twice.
Mm-hmm.
You got to where you got to last year because of Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, that's nice. You won 7 games in a row to finish the season. You look at the schedule, didn't really beat anybody that impressive. Jimmy Garoppolo got you 8 of those wins that you had in them 13 games.
Yep.
So let's relax. Let's act like Jimmy G didn't basically put the 49ers in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And all you had to do is kind of keep your hand on the steering wheel. Now,
it was just like when Nick Foles came in for Wentz. Wentz got them to the 11-2 record and got them home field advantage.
Now, that's not to say what Brock Purdy did isn't impressive.
Right.
He looked good. Yes, he looked good. But I'm not going to sit there after 8 games and no real film on you. Right. You were Mr. Irrelevant for a reason.
Right.
Okay. So I highly doubt. Now, obviously, Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick. Russell Wilson, 3rd. There's an anomaly. Could you be an anomaly? Absolutely. Sure, you could be. Yeah. What I'm saying is it's going to take more than 8 games for you to prove that to me. So,
especially in a franchise like San Fran.
Exactly. So, so to answer your question, no, because I haven't seen enough from him yet.
Yeah. It's definitely a tough thing to look at. Because when I wish I was podcasting through last year, but I just kind of took the season off, enjoyed watching the game, watching you guys go at it. And I was like, I got to get back in with my boys. And as I saw everyone talking about Brock Purdy, I'm like, damn, this is actually really impressive. Like, you're talking about the dead last pick in the draft, going all the way to the NFC Championship game. Yes, you have an amazing offense built around you. Christian McCaffrey might have been the best offensive player in the league, the way that they were rolling and using him, actually. The defense is clearly the best in the league, has been regarded as very elite, one of the best, if not top 2, top 3, if they can even fall below top 2 in terms of the defense in the league. But I can't deny what Brock Purdy did show us. Of course, like you said, little stats here, 67% completion, just under 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 picks, took 11 sacks, and had a 107 passer rating. I don't know if he was 8-1 in his 9 games, or if he might have been 7-1, not necessarily sure, but we know that the only loss, of course, was when they did get bounced out of the playoffs. Right now, I don't trust Brock to lead the Niners to the, the promised land, to that, even Super Bowl. And I know because of last year and him getting to the NFC Championship, a lot of people are going to want to put that hype behind him. But like you also said, Jerm, you can't deny the fact that that was Jimmy G's team. Jimmy G had taken them to a Super Bowl. Was really, I want to say, a dropped pick by Charvarius Ward or Jimmy Ward, if I'm not mistaken, on the Niners.
Jaquarius Tart.
Oh, yeah, Jaquiski Tart. Yes, God, I know his name because dude was always snagging interceptions in Madden. Like, he's not as good in real life. He dropped the pick from Matt Stafford, and like that really could have sent them to the Super Bowl twice. I think we're having a way different conversation about Jimmy G possibly and how it played out. And of course, we know, he missed the throw to Emmanuel Sanders in the Super Bowl. But back to Brock Purdy, trusting him for a whole 17. I mean, we're going to get into the record prediction as well. That'll kind of help it unfold. But trusting him for a whole 17, clearly he's shown enough to Shanahan that he can do that. He had the surgery. He's coming back healthy. I love to see all that. I love Brock Purdy's story. Absolutely love it. There's no way that you can, not want to lean into it. But I don't trust him to take them to a Super Bowl, to win a Super Bowl. And maybe I'm kind of crazy for even making this a topic, but this is the expectation of the Niners.
Yeah.
And you also have Bosa as well, one of your better players, if not your best player on the team, that you're kind of working through too. So, there's some things happening here, but nonetheless, Brock Purdy would have to melt in practice to lose the QB1 job, according to Kyle Shanahan. Now let's do a Niners record prediction, kind of like we did with the Colts at the beginning. Let's just do it in a vacuum. Let's say Brock Purdy is healthy and does play all 17. with the 15th hardest schedule in the league and projected at 11.5 wins. How do you have it playing out?
I have them winning 9 games. I do. They went 13 and whatever, but like I said, most of those were Jimmy G wins.
Yeah.
There's tape on Brock Purdy. I do
Mm-hmm.
believe there will be he's coming off of an injury. Um, I I just it's Kyle Shanahan is supposed to be some quarterback whisperer. He doesn't even know what quarterback, he wasted 3 first-round picks on Trey Lance, and Trey Lance may not be the 3rd best quarterback on the team. And so, I don't know what they're doing over there, big question mark, but I have them taking a small step back this year. Trading Jimmy G will be the worst mistake of Kyle Shanahan's career, and it might cost him his job. I don't know.
Mm.
But, I have them 9 or 10 games, I think is probably where they'll be at.
I'm right there with you. Again, 15th hardest schedule in the league, so really middle of the pack, an average schedule, I guess, if you will. Projected at 11.5 wins. I predicted them going 10-7 overall, 6-2 at home, 4-5 on the road, and it's going to absolutely stay the same for me here. Did I say that right? Yes, I did. When I did the NFC West predictions just a few months back, had them going 10-7 because I really didn't know if it was going to be some of Trey Lance, some of Brock Purdy. I wasn't really sure at the time. I wasn't super leaned in. So I'm like, okay, just based off of how this team is really shaking out in the offseason, and then of course at the time that I predicted it, what are they really going to do? So I'm going to have them going 10-7, slightly under that 11.5 wins. 9 games does maybe feel a little low, but hell, if they just
Yeah.
lose on more for the 10 wins that I have predicted, then so be it. Because a lot is going to ride on Brock Purdy, and for him to be the captain for all 17 games, can he make big throws in big moments? And yes, it does feel like he's a duplicate of Jimmy G, but we saw Jimmy for quite a few years, and his process and his progress, rather, as a player, where he got the franchise was absolutely undeniable.